Hello, I'm Mark Schechter with Ideal Luxury, where we buy, sell, trade, and make loans on fine watches, diamonds, and jewelry. Welcome to Question Mark, where I answer popular questions about these same items. Today we'll be talking about the 42mm Rolex Explorer 2. Just took a custom order for, we'll call him Mr. Y. The watch came in, and I thought what a great time to in detail talk about this unique piece and its heritage. Rolex is synonymous with the sportsman. Think Submariner for diving, Yachtmaster for sailing, the Daytona for racing. They wanted to create a watch that would be synonymous with and support the Explorer. And it started in the 1930s when Rolex tested the reliability and durability of their Oyster watch by including it in Himalayan explorations. The most famous of which in 1953 when Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reached the summit of Mount Everest at 29,000 feet. The Oyster watch was included in that exploration, and in the same year, Rolex rode that hype and introduced the Explorer. The watch continued to develop, and in 1971, the 1655 Rolex Explorer 2 was introduced and became synonymous with the famous race car driver and actor Steve McQueen. It had the date function, it had an additional hour hand to track time in two different time zones, it had wonderful luminescence to help explorations in, let's say, caves where the lighting was low. The 24-hour bezel would help in cases like the poles where the sun does not set and you need to know whether it's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Those functions became synonymous with this exploration watch. And after 4 decades of development, in 2011, Rolex introduced the 42mm version of the watch and brought back the orange hand and the orange writing on the dial. Let's take a closer look at what makes this anniversary edition of the Explorer 2 so much fun.
Alright, so let's take a closer look at Mr. Y's gorgeous 216570 Rolex Explorer 2. Obviously, this is the 40th anniversary upgraded edition they released in 2011 with the 42mm case. The watch looks very similar. Obviously, one big difference is the 24-hour hand is orange. Again, I think to commemorate the Steve McQueen 1971 version from the 1655 reference. But the watch is 42 millimeters. It is waterproof to 100 meters or 330 feet. You have, obviously, Rolex now, all their stainless steel watches are coming in 904L stainless steel, so it's a super alloy, right? This is, I think it's 3 grades better than surgical steel. It is highly resistant to corrosion, but still highly polishable. In this case, Rolex does a satin finish on the bracelet, but a high polish on the side. So let's kind of walk through the watch. Obviously, you're looking at Maxi dial, so you've got the larger markers. Maxi case, you can see the lugs, much thicker than traditional Explorer 2. Maxi dial, Maxi case. Watch has upgraded flip lock, clasp, also referred to sometimes as a fat clasp. Upgraded clasp. It's kind of nice too. It's got the Easy Link, which is that little pop open 5mm extra link without having to remove links. I call it kind of skinny day, fat day. If it's a warm day and you're kind of a little larger than normal, you open it all the way up, and if it's cold early in the morning or you're skiing, you can close that. Easy way to adjust it, but it's got the nicer clasp. Watch has a Twinlock screw down crown. You can back that off. Obviously our first stop. Wind the watch. And then we can, at the second stop, we can move that rapid set hour hand. This is how you would also roll the date. If I wanted to roll it around, I could change the date. That's kind of the quick set function versus like a date just. We can roll that around. And then I can go to my third stop, Obviously the second hand stops now, so I can do it accurate to the second, and then I can roll the hour and minute hands and the 24 hand. Obviously the hour hand is going to rotate twice around in 24 hours, where the orange 24-hour hand takes 24 hours to go around one time, and it syncs with the bezel. And it's quite straightforward. What they've done there is that as an Explorer watch, you may be exploring caves where it's dark and you don't know if it's 10 in the morning or 10 at night. You could also be exploring at the poles where the sun does not set and it's daylight all day long. You don't know if it's 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. But in this case, you could reference the bezel to see that it's saying that it's 10:30 at night as opposed to 10:30 in the morning, according to that orange hand. That's the concept behind that bezel. Obviously, and we'll throw some photos on the screen here, the lume, very, very strong. This being a 2011 watch, has an engraved inner bezel. See if we can get that level of detail with the iPhone here. Yeah, that's great. I'm not going to show you the serial number at 6 o'clock, but you can see that that bezel is engraved on the inside, which is a nice feature. Gorgeous watch, and what they've done here. Those markers actually outside the lume, those are actually 18 karat gold markers to prevent corrosion. The nice sharp white dial comes in black as well, of course. This watch has the in-house Rolex 3187 self-winding movement, obviously with the added hour hand and the date aperture versus the Explorer model. But beautiful watch, what they put together here. This watch retails for $8,100, at least at the time that we're shooting this video. And you'll see watches discounted, even new watches online. They're still not discounting these. There's not much of a break on the Explorer 2. I really think that the orange hand has been very well received in this case. But all the same, we spent some time talking about the Explorer and the impetus behind it. This wasn't a sport watch for the diver or the yachtsman. This watch was created for the Explorer, whether it be caves or the polar ice caps. And it got its heritage from the Himalayan expeditions, the original oyster case watches. In fact, the grandfather of this watch was part of the expedition when Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay summited Mount Everest for the first time in 1953. That was really where the Explorer got launched in the same year and kind of rode the hype. And now you've got the Explorer 2 as the 40th anniversary. They've done a wonderful job with this watch. If you don't have one, you should probably go out and grab one.
That's all for today, folks. If you'd like your question answered or would like to learn more about buying, selling, or borrowing with Ideal Luxury, please visit our website or give us a call. Thank you.